Alright, you guys, so this is the module 7 review for inequalities. So first one, 7.1 is to write or solve one-step inequalities. So I'm going to solve first and then I'm going to write one. Okay, remember, same with the equations, I'm going to have to do the inverse operation. I want to isolate my variable. So I'm going to isolate this one by subtracting the negative 7. By subtracting the 7. So that ends up with n is less than negative 10 and I'm done. Okay. Next one, I'm going to move this one to the other side, so I have to do inverse operation, which is to add. So I'm going to add, so I end up with C is less than or equal to 50, and I'm done. Okay. Right here, I am multiplying the negative 3 times the B, so I'm going to divide by negative 3. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side. Remember that when we divide or multiply by negative, I have to reverse my inequality symbol. So 12 divided by negative 3, that's a negative 4. And because I'm dividing by negative, I have to reverse my inequality symbol. So that's that. Now, this doesn't look pretty for some of us when we start graphing. So I'm going to reverse the places of the variable and the number. And when I do that, I also have to reverse my inequality symbol. So I end up with B, and this is less than or equal to, so I'm going to say greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, and this is the answer. This is also the answer, but that is better when you start graphing. And again, this is like saying Sammy is younger than Adam. So if I want to start with Adam, I'm going to say Adam is older than Sammy. So I also have to reverse my inequality symbol there. Now, the D is being divided by negative 3. So the opposite of a division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply that by negative 3. That cancels out. Multiply by negative 3 there. So remember, I am multiplying by negative, so therefore I have to reverse my inequality symbol. So it's going to be greater than or equal to, and the negative 6 times the negative 3 is a positive 18. So I'm done there. I'm done. Okay, now let's write a one-step inequality. So if it says Jose scored 560 points, okay, so he scored 560 points, okay, his math test so far this semester, and it says to get an A for the semester, he must score at least, okay, so he already has this, but he has to have at least 700 points. Okay, we need to write and solve an inequality to find the minimum number of points that he needs to score in the remainders of his tests to be able to get an A. Okay, so he already has 560. Okay, we don't know how many points he needs to get, so I'm going to say plus P for number of points, okay? And it has to be at least, so that means it has to be greater than or equal to 700, okay? So that will be my writing of the inequality. And then basically to solve, I'm going to subtract the 560 on each side. So he has to score at least 140 points to get an A for this semester, okay? So here we go. Now writing two-step inequality. So here we go. Imagine that you are scuba diving and you are descending to a point 20 feet below zero, okay? So 20 feet below zero, that will be a negative, okay, below sea level, okay? And then it says that you continue your descent, so you're going down at a rate, okay, of 10 feet per minute, okay? We need to write an inequality to solve to find the number of minutes that you're going to have to continue your descent if you don't want to go below 100 feet, okay? So you don't want to go below, so that means it has to be less than or equal 100 feet below sea level, which is a negative 100, okay? So we're going to write an inequality. So here we go. You are already at 20, so I'm going to say minus 20, okay, negative 20. And you're descending at 10 feet per minute, okay? So you're going down, so it's going to be a minus 10, and then for m for minutes, okay? Now you okay, so this right here, guys, I'm sorry. So this one is gonna have to be greater than or equal to, because you don't want to go below that, so it has to be a number above the negative 100. And okay, so for instance, negative 99 is gonna be greater than, actually, so I'm sorry about that, but it has to be greater than, okay? So greater than or equal to, because that's the lowest you want to go, okay? minus 100. And that's it. We don't have to solve for this one. I'm just writing it, okay? Now, solving two-step inequalities. Again, I want to isolate my variables. Let me change that for an x, that way we don't get confused. So I'm going to move this one to the other side, move that to the other side by subtracting. Then I end up with 2x greater than 12 divided by 2 divided by 2x greater than 6. And I'm done, okay? This one right here, I'm going to move the 6, so plus 6 plus 6. So I have negative d over 12 less than 7. I'm dividing by 12, so I'm going to multiply by 12 on both sides. That goes away. Now I end up with negative d less than 84. Okay. Now this one is a negative d. It might, remember, there's a coefficient of 1, so basically negative 1. So I have to divide by negative 1 to get rid of the negative. Okay, so I have d is greater than, because remember, whenever I divide by negative, I'm going to flip the inequality symbol, negative 84, and I'm done. Okay, if you don't want to divide by negative 1, which is basically what you're doing, and you have this right here, you're going to flip everything. So to make that positive, you're going to flip everything, okay, which is basically that. Ready? But this is why we end up with this, because you're divided by negative 1. Okay? God bless you. Bye-bye.